Types of testing in software testing. In our previous video, we looked at two broad categories of software testing types, the non-functional testing and the functional testing, under which series of other software testing types or kinds comes in. However, we are going to be looking at some other types of software testing today. And so if today is your first time on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you can keep getting latest updates each time I drop a new video like this. So let's get started with what we have for today. Now, we are going to be looking at what we call retesting and regression testing. So what's the difference between these? However, retesting is also called confirmation test. It's also called confirmation test. So let's quickly look at this scenario. Assuming that while driving your car, you notice that the brake isn't effective. You stop by the mechanic for repairs. After the repair, you quickly do a test run of the brake to determine whether it is now as effective as it should be. This is how confirmation testing works. Like I said, confirmation testing is also called regression. It's also called retesting. Retesting is also called confirmation testing. Now, let's assume that you notice that your car brake isn't as effective while you were driving. Then you stop at the mechanic to repair it. Then after repairing it, you decide to do a test run of that brake before you continue on your journey. So that is a perfect example of retesting or confirmation testing. So now, assuming you are testing a software, say a financial application, and while you were testing, you notice that a particular form is not submitting while you are trying to initiate a credit facility or a particular, you are trying to register a user, so a customer. It could be that, and while you are trying to do that, it's not going through. The form is not submitting. That's an error, right? So you probably report this so that the developers can work on it. After the developer has worked on it and you decide to recheck whether the form is now submitting, whether you can now register the customer successfully. And then you decide to do that and you click on the submit button and you are getting a feedback that the user has been registered successfully, and you check the database and you saw that, oh, the information is actually being registered in the database. Exactly, that's what is called retesting. While you are testing exactly what has failed before. Now, how does regression testing work? What's the difference between this and regression test? So now, regression test, on the other hand, looking at this scenario, right? While driving, first you notice your car's ineffectiveness. Your car brakes ineffectiveness. There is nothing wrong with the other parts of the car, right? Like the steering, the headlights, the horn, etc. Okay, so even though nothing was wrong with any of these parts, you decided to check whether the repair done on the brake doesn't result in a new issue in other parts of the car. This is how regression testing works. So now, what's actually the difference between retesting and regression testing? So first, regression testing is, okay, now I have noticed that after testing, after identifying that there's an issue with the submit button, when I click on the submit, there is no response. So that could be an API issue, could be any issue. That's for the developers to debug, right? And now, let's assume that, apart from that form, before the user can access that form page, okay, the user can click and navigate to that form page. Or the customer can navigate to that form page. You can actually get to that form page, open the page before you start working, before you submit it. Or you also notice that you can even log in, alright, to where you can make, initiate sign up for the user. Okay. But then after this particular form has been repaired, you now notice that you can no longer log into the system, or you can log into the system, but when you click on sign up button, the form is no longer coming up. So now, a test that is done to confirm other areas of the system that are perfectly working fine before you spot the real issue we reported is what is called regression testing. It's actually a test done to see that, oh, this other part of the system are still working as they were working before. So it is actually to see whether the changes that we introduce in repairing or in fixing the issue reported has not caused issue to other parts of the system that are working well. Okay, so that's exactly what regression testing is. And if you look at this scenario of our car brake, right? So the headlight is working, the steering is working properly, the car is sounding well when you press the horn. Nothing is wrong with any of this. But the moment the brake was done and you were doing your test run, you say you notice that the car horn, the headlight, the steering aren't working properly anymore. So a test that is done to determine other part of the system whether they have not been affected by the brake that was repaired is called regression testing. So the real difference between these two is why retesting is only focusing on, regression testing is only focusing on the main issue that causes a change in the software. On the other hand, regression testing focuses on other areas that had no previous issue before the repair, right? Let me take that again. While confirmation test or retesting focuses on the main issue that causes a change in the software, regression testing focuses on other areas that had no previous issues before the repair. That is exactly the difference between retesting and regression testing. However, they have similarities. Both are caused by changes. So why are you doing retesting? Why are you doing regression testing? You are doing both because there was a change that was made in the software system. And now that will be all for this video. Thanks for watching.